all right?
Okay.
Right, good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. And tonight we've got the wonderful Jessica Fleischer. She's going to be teaching us about Ikigai, which is a Japanese art form, if you like, or a way of creating the life you want in kind of art. Is that right? Is that what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to hand over to Jess because she knows, she'll be explaining it much better than me. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to pin you to the screen, Jess, and enjoy. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Okay. Away you go.
Thank you. And hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me this evening. And as Freddie said, I'm here to talk to you and get you doing it, creating your Ikigai. So Ikigai is a Japanese word, philosophy, and its closest translation to English is our reason for being. So we use our purpose, or I don't know, Simon Sinek uses your why. So what's your why? Why do you do what you're doing each day? What are you working towards? What do you want to achieve? And if we work out what our Ikigai is, then it helps. It helps when we're struggling, when we're not sure, when we're I get overwhelmed. I'm not saying everybody does, but when we want to do everything every day, because we could be passionate about multiple things, or we could be struggling to find that passion, and that's okay. But I'll show you what mine looks like, and then I'll get you started. So by creating it, I'm not going to be able to see it in great detail, but I'm going to talk you through it. So the Ikigai is actually the circle in the middle, and we're going to go through the process to create yours. So does everybody have pieces of paper cut up, or do you want to cut them all up now, or do you want to take notes? Let me just see what everybody's got, because we're going to begin by identifying what we love. So if I quickly talk through what we'll do through the whole session. So to get to the Ikigai, there's 8 stages, and don't let that intimidate you, because we're going to break it down and just focus on one at a time. And by finding each box, so each box of our Ikigai, that's how we get the center, our purpose, our reason for being. So we're going to begin with love, what we love. I like to begin with that one. And that's the one that comes from our heart. So in the style of Laurie Hammond, I can't say I created this. I'd just like us to begin by placing our hands on our heart, taking a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, allow your eyes to close, relaxing into the chair as it supports you. And feel your heart beating and your breathing in your chest, the rise and fall. And just gently turn your attention inwards and know that your reason is unique to you, but we're all doing this together. We're all connected. All of our hearts are beating now at this moment in time, and we're all working towards our own unique reason for being. And I'd just like you to focus on the feelings inside you. Focus on the people you love, the things that you love to do. There is no right or wrong answer. Take your time, relax deeper and deeper. Allow the thoughts to flow like a river, cascading down a waterfall, like a trip along the coast, watching the waves. Allow your thoughts to crash against the shore. And notice the ones which mean the most to you in your heart, the things that you love, the things that you could do every day without fail, without having to focus, without ever having to work again. Those are the things that you love. And take one more deep breath in, filling yourself with positivity now. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to open, focusing on what you just felt and what you just saw. And then you'll need to pick up your pen and paper and write that down. So that's the first part of your Ikigai. I'm going to allow you a few moments to do that. I'll stop speaking. I'll drink some tea. And it's completely unique to you. There is no, as with all of the things throughout this exercise, there is no right or wrong answer. It's purely what you love. And I didn't say it at the beginning, but if you want to speak, you can feel free to unmute yourself. This is not just me speaking to you. We're doing this activity together, but obviously you need to turn your attention inwards too. I'm just guiding you through it, but you are welcome to either write in the chat box or speak.
Is it just one word?
No, as many things as you can come up with. So pardon?
On one piece of paper?
Yes. So I don't know if you can see, I've got lots of things on mine. The title is What I Love. And then maybe I should have explained this better. There we go. This is why we learn. This is why we try things out. The title is What I Love. And then underneath you need to write anything that you could come up with that you love. So I've got learning, reading, podcasts, food, coffee, cake, creating recipes, travel, kickboxing, boxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, pole dancing, the sea, the beach, the woods, the mountains, and many more things. But as an example.
Did you do it all at once at one time, yours? Or have you added to yours at any?
No, I haven't changed. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
At another, I think, I don't know, yearly, maybe. I'm not sure. But I haven't changed it since I originally did it.
You sat down and did it all at once, the whole thing?
I spent a long time on it though. That's why I've got so many things, because I really did put a lot of effort into finding those answers. And we're going to move on. So we're going to move on to the next box. So and you can come back to it. The fact that I did all of mine in one go is absolutely not the way that you have to do yours. No. So you could do this over days, weeks, however long it takes you to come to ideas that you're happy with. But to get the Ikigai, ideally you want to have as broad a spectrum of things to identify that from. Yeah. And then, so the second box, we're going to put what I am good at as the title, and then list everything below. So I'll allow you to do that. And whilst you're thinking, if you're struggling to think, look at yourself as if you're somebody you love and think what they would say you're good at. And think if you were to ask them, what am I good at? What their response would be. Because sometimes we don't see ourselves as other people do. And especially there is a kind of negative association, almost like the phrase being big-headed, not wanting to be egotistical, but it's okay to praise yourself. It's okay to acknowledge what you're good at. And that's the purpose of this part of this exercise, because you are good at many things. You just have to realize it. And again, it can be anything. So don't try and relate it to, oh, how does this fit in with that? Just anything you're good at, completely unrelated to everything else you do on a daily basis. Just put it down. If you think it, write it. Does anyone else find identifying what they're good at harder than what they love? Because I did.
Yeah.
So if you are sat there thinking, I've run out of ideas, you're not alone. I had to sit there, and that's why I had to think there must be other things. What have other people told me? And I was talking to Rob Chapman actually yesterday about all the positive comments that other people make about us, and we just, I guess they're there in the back of our minds somewhere, but we dismiss them consciously. So he's begun a practice of writing them down, and I'd recommend we all do that, because we're all too quick to dismiss the positive things about ourselves. We see them in others, but we struggle when it comes to us. So it's important to know. And we'll move on because I don't want to run out of time, because I know Freddie's session's at 9 o'clock. So the next one is what I can be paid for. So again, this doesn't have to be connected to the other two. It's anything in your life that you've ever been paid for, or anything that you know someone would pay you for, and just listing it down. Because obviously we need to earn money. It's all good being passionate about things, good at things, but if we can't earn money from it, we do struggle.
It was nice to see you do your first paid session of hypnotherapy. That was good.
Yes, I got another one booked in now too.
First of thousands, that is. It's going to be great. Think of all the lives you're going to change, Jess.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah. I'm going to be watching your journey, and I'm going to enjoy watching it.
I can comprehend that, because how I feel about coaching other fighters is possibly more than I feel about myself even. It's that they listened to what I did and then they won, and it's a feeling unlike any other. I think that's why I like coaching people.
Especially when you see them from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then the fourth big box, because we get our little boxes from our big boxes. The fourth one is what the world needs. So again, I'm not going to tell you what you think the world needs. It's unique to you. And if it helps to just take a moment to close your eyes and take a vision of that better version of the world that you would like to be in, we would all like to be in, then take a moment to do so. And think about what it would feel like as well, not just what it looks like, because perhaps it's feelings that the world needs, or acts of kindness or something. I don't want to use too many words because I don't want to influence you.
Mine would be very controversial.
Would you like to share it?
Well, I've written it down.
Would you like to share it?
I'm going to share it.
There's no pressure.
An end to religion.
Yeah.
Oh, good one, Freddie.
Since Jesus Christ walked this earth, 33 million people have died in religious wars.
That's a good one. I put reduced fear, respect, purpose and passion, improved health, and freedom.
I only wrote 2 things down: sharing and an end to religion. So that's just my thoughts. As I always say, it's my.
There is no right or wrong answer. We're all unique, and that's the beauty of it. And that's the good thing about this exercise. Everybody's can be. Somebody said this to me earlier. She was like, "Oh, I don't want to do that because I'm past my time of being striving to improve." I was like, "It's not about striving to improve. Just because mine looks very much like I'm striving to improve, because I am at this moment in time."
I've written a couple of novels, and one of them's called Messiah. I'll send it to you, Jess. I think you'd like it. It's out on Amazon, but I'll send it to you.
I'd love to.
And it's
Yeah, that would be lovely.
So I looked
Thank
some
you.
facts. Although it's a novel.
Right, is everybody happy?
Yeah.
Is everybody happy with their 4 boxes that they've got at the moment?
Yep.
Because we're going to use them now to get our crossover boxes. So if I show you my visual representation of it, the 2 connect with 1 in between, the 2 connect with 1 in between. So they're sort of connecting together. We're starting to draw it inwards now. So again, there will be less things in the boxes now because you're drawing the ones that connect. So we're starting by connecting the things we love and the things we're good at. And that box is titled Our Passion, because we're good at it and we love it. So, and if more things come to your mind that aren't in the previous 2 boxes, by all means add them into the what you love and what you're good at. But like for me, I've got kickboxing in both. So kickboxing goes in my passion because I love it and I'm good at it.
So this what's this fifth box called?
Passion.
Passion.
So this
right.
box is your passion. It's the crossovers between what you love and what you're good at. Because, yeah, that's what they said so in the Ikigai exercise. I haven't actually, there is also a book, but I've never seen this done before. I'm not going to say that I created this. I'm just going to say I've never seen it done before. And I didn't even know there was a book. So if it's in the book, I didn't copy it. Maybe the book copied me. I don't know.
If I'd known that this is what you were doing, I would have said, look, just do a joint thing tonight. Because
that would have worked really. I'm
going to share this tonight. I'm going to share it. I'm going to name it. Say I've done this with you today. I'm going to share some of this because I think it's exactly.
I'm happy to do it again because, Eliza, this is the first time I've done it. I did it once as part of my own membership, but this is the first time I've done it to such a big group.
Are we writing passion box?
Yes.
What are we writing in there?
The crossovers between your love box and what you're good at box. So that identifies the things that you're passionate about. So anything that you both love and you're good at. So my example is kickboxing.
Okay.
So yours would be working in the woods, I guess, Liz.
Yeah.
One of them. Yeah.
Well, I love the woods and trees and nature and peace and quiet and stuff. And then I'm good at teaching others. So what do I?
So you could put from that, you can put, I'm good at teaching others about the woods, finding peace and quiet in the woods. Or again, I can't tell you what you find, but you have to make the connections.
Okay.
Just give you.
What if there's no overlap? What if there's no overlap?
Can you create one? Can you go to the creative resources of your mind? There will be an overlap in there, I think.
It's like if you've got cake in one, you should put eating in the other, Jackie.
Yeah, because you could love cake and
be really good at it.
I didn't actually put that I'm good at eating, but I am good at it. See, there's more things we're good at than we realise. That's definitely something I'm good at.
Well, I wonder about adding to it, sort of thing. Things come.
You can add to it, like I said, at any point you can add to it. And yeah, with the crossovers, it's that they might not be exact crossovers, but if you feel like it fits, and this is where it's the drawing the attention inwards. And if I had longer than an hour, I guess this is where I've never incorporated hypnosis into this exercise, but it could have more deeper hypnotic experiences throughout it to bring out those answers from the subconscious.
That's what Freddie means about using it for his thing,
Yeah,
giving him ideas for his session sort of thing, because he's yeah.
If we realize, like I said, this is the first time I've done it, if I'd realized and Freddie had realized this is what it was going to be, it would have actually worked really well together. So maybe we can do that at a later date. But the next one, so before we run out of time, is profession. So the title is Profession, and so this is what you're good at and what you can be paid for. So if you have
what I could be paid for.
Pardon?
I didn't have much for what I could be paid for.
Well, what have you been paid for?
Just teaching others, like, about nature and stuff.
And is that in what you're good at?
Yeah.
So
but I one thing. I suppose there's more if I think about it.
Doesn't have to be more than one thing. There's no right or wrong answer. Like Jackie said, if
I can think of that's like just teaching others about nature and how to look after it and respect it and so on. But that's the only thing I could think of that I could be paid for. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's other things, but I just haven't thought about it.
Yeah, I think you just answered your question there with, I'm sure there's other things, I just haven't thought about it. So perhaps it needs just a deeper thought. But then it doesn't necessarily need a deeper thought, because if that one thing falls into your reason for being, your Ikigai, then why add more to it? There's no need to add more if it's not going to serve a purpose to us. So there's nothing wrong with only having one answer.
I think that's the main thing about what I do.
It's just trying to have as many options as possible. So when we start the first 4 boxes, we put in as much as we can unrelated. So then we can bring it down into the smaller boxes, and then we find that overlap.
I'm with you, Liz. I don't know, but I imagine you love nature, do you not?
Ikigai. So the more we have.
Is it Liz that's speaking there about the woods?
Yeah.
I imagine you love nature, don't you?
Oh, it's the best thing in the world ever.
Yeah, well, it's not just about teaching for you, is it? It's about motivating other people to look after it, is it not?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Well, then you haven't got that in your box, I doubt. Motivating.
What do I put? Teaching us about the woods, nature, and how to respect and look after it.
Yeah, but that's teaching. But you also by your love for it, you're motivating. You haven't got that down there. And yeah, that's a big part of what you do, isn't it? If you get people, teach people all about it, about loving it, then you're also motivating. Just a thought. And I shouldn't be putting thoughts in your mind either. Jess isn't, I'm not going to either.
That's good, because it's something I didn't think about. That's what I mean. Like, you need to bounce ideas sometimes.
Well,
it's not.
I could also put things into your mind too that you wouldn't have thought of, because you don't have my mind. But your kickboxing ability is increasing constantly. You've been training under me now for over a year. There's no reason why, if you wanted to train up to teach kickboxing to people, that could be something that you could do. The bigger you make the box of possibilities, they are. It's just identify, but they have to be right for you. I can't tell you, oh yeah, you could teach kickboxing, Liz, because I'm going to notice that because it's personal to me. But if you have no desire to do that, then it's not your purpose.
No, and it's trying it out from your inner self, like, isn't it? And yeah.
Right.
I think others know, isn't it? I guess. I'm a teacher of like what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And
if you have that ability to teach, you can take your passion, and your passions can change, and teach them, because you have that teaching ability. And people pay. So when we cross over to what people pay to be taught more than they pay for, I'm passionate about this, but I'm not teaching you anything. Like, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
if you're good at teaching, you're in a very good position to create an Ikigai around teaching things you're passionate about without giving you your answer. And the next one is our vocation. So this is what you can be paid for and what the world needs. So it's not necessarily, it doesn't cross over with what you love and what you're good at. But if you have identified something that the world needs that someone would pay you for, that's a vocation. Let me just get my notes up.
Sorry, what was the third box called?
Vocation.
Vocation.
Yes.
Sorry, the second box was called what?
Profession.
Profession, sorry.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. Otherwise, I'm just sat here looking pretty, not doing a lot.
I'm just getting carried away. And you do look very pretty.
Thank you.
Okay.
You just explain vocation again.
So it's the crossover of what you can be paid for and what the world needs. So if there's something in the world that you can't personally be paid for, it's not your vocation. If that makes sense. Let me just see.
Is that Liz that's struggling with that question then?
No, that
That-
was me. That was Helen.
All right.
I'm not struggling. I just wanted a clarification of which one it was, because I was too busy writing something else. But hands up, I wasn't listening. Apologies.
That's okay.
I love this, Jess.
Oh, I'm glad. I actually, you could help me with this. There we go. That's something that you could get paid for. I would like to make it a practical exercise that we actually take the arts and crafts stuff to teenagers, because that's a good age to do this.
Yeah.
Or kids, you could simplify it, make it less intense and just do some fun stuff with kids or something. But that's why I like teenagers and self-employed people, because they struggle to know what they want to do with their life. I think
That's a really good point, Jess. I used to be a teacher, and I've done not this, but I've done similar type things. And the good thing about kids is they don't get hung up as adults do. What are you good at? And they just like write loads and loads and loads of stuff. It's really interesting to watch it all happening.
How old were you teaching, Helen?
We were in an area of middle school, so from 13, 14, right the way down to 5, but I tended to be in 13s to 11s. So,
okay.
You know, this should be, when you roll this out, Jess, and you get it all together, you know exactly how you're going to present this. This should be on the curriculum in the last year of everyone's schooling.
Yeah, that's
Or
great.
perhaps a little bit earlier, so before they take their they make their decisions on their GCSEs, because too many, the pressure to make that decision, they think, oh, I want to do geography. Why? I don't know. I like rivers, but they didn't actually want.
But it's what age is a kid a proper reason. But I think if you did this, whether they were 16, 18, but if it was made kind of not compulsory, but an extra, something they should be doing and looking at as a way of finding where they're going to go next. I think it's great, and you should take this into schools. Take it in schools.
Maybe my Ikigai is to help people find their Ikigai.
and even primaries, you could adapt it down and just change the language slightly, and that'd be fine.
I think your Ikigai might be exactly that, Jess.
Perhaps.
Getting
I do
people to
enjoy it.
realize what they actually want, and that they can achieve it.
Because it's so, and especially because you have the two ends of the spectrum, the I don't know what I want to do at all, and the I want to do everything and I don't know how to narrow it down. So the more that I think about this and the more that I learn about it, I'm like, it's actually could be it doesn't have to be made complex to the person being taught, but if I do my job well helping them, there's actually quite a lot to get right, but it can have a really big impact on them in the unique individuals. But it works well as a group as well, as long as I get it right. So the last part of our connecting the boxes is our mission. So the final box is our mission, and it's connecting what we love with what the world needs. So this is all of the things that don't have anything to do with being paid for or anything. Again, they can do, but in this box, they don't have to. So anything that you would love to help improve the world with, that's your mission.
I've got down here Reiki healing, hypno healing, dog healing, horse healing. I think my mission's healing.
Yes. I think mine might have changed since I did it, but I put education on health, encourage and coach, inspire courage, courage to follow passion, give and receive respect. They
Lovely.
were my ones.
Mine's just one sentence. Help as many people as possible out of pain and perceived limitations.
I think that might be your Ikigai.
You're awesome, Freddie.
That is such a concise sentence.
I know.
But
Yeah.
Within that, it pretty much, you know, it's everything that people suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can free them from their perceived limitations, any actual or perceived pain as well, then you can make a massive difference in the world. And you're doing that. When you train people, they come into your gym and I don't believe they can do this or that. And what you're doing is you're freeing them from those perceived limitations and showing that they can. And once they see it, it can't be unseen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're doing the same thing, really. And you're creating pain in your opponents.
Yeah, she does.
I've never hurt you, have I?
You can create pain and then you can say, I'm a hypnotist. I can remove that for you after the fight.
Yeah.
Although I was actually telling Rishav earlier about how I make people sprint up a horrible hill. So yeah, it's painful.
Yeah. And then that ache afterwards as well if you push them because you push them to the, keep going. Yeah.
But the sense of achievement,
A good thing, yeah.
brings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pain. It's not something that lasts forever, and you can see it working for you, so it's good.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It has so many positives. It has so many positives on physical health, self-esteem, confidence. It completely transforms people's ability.
Well,
like
it changed my life, Jess, in a whole manner of ways. I don't tell you that enough, but you have, and you know you have.
Thank you.
In different ways.
It still shocks me to a degree. When you say that, I'm like, oh, but I just kickboxed with you. And then you did the work. You're the one that's making the changes. You're the one that's going out there. Like the radio show, you're sat there. You stepped out of your own comfort zone. You're the one that's doing it, not me.
Yeah, but it's not just what you teach me. It's who you are as well. Like, you're so infectious that you're so, like, I don't know, I can't explain. But you just you're just an infectious person. You make people want to do better by naturally just being you. So that's what it is. It's not the fact of kickboxing and stuff like that. It's just you.
That's the greatest compliment that you can be paid. You make me want to be a better man. You make
Yeah.
me want to be a better woman.
Yeah,
That's the
you do.
greatest, that is the greatest compliment anyone can pay you, Jess. And
Yeah.
you've been paid that compliment.
That is incredible. Yeah. I'm
You're amazing.
speechless. I'm speechless. I like speaking. Apparently I'm good at speaking. You've made me speechless.
Yeah.
So a lot can be said through silence. So on to our final part, our Ikigai. So I can't tell you. Oh yeah, just before we do that, I wanted to explain before I forgot why we have the different boxes and why we can't just stick with one of them. So why we can't just go with our mission, go with our passion. Like Freddie said, he's got such a concise sentence. It's like, well, why doesn't he just do that? And I've got the answers here. So if you were to just stick with your passion, you get left with a satisfaction but feeling of uselessness. And if you were to stick with your profession, so combining what you're good at and what you're paid for, you get comfortable because you're earning an income, but a feeling of emptiness just because you're good at it and being paid for it doesn't actually provide you that feeling of value in your life. And if you were to stick with your vocation, so what you can be paid for and what the world needs, you'll get excitement and complacency, but a sense of uncertainty, I guess, because of the lack of passion, because you're being paid for it. So you're doing good in the world and you're earning money, but it's not got that element of passion in it. And then finally, the mission, you get delight and fullness, but no wealth. So that's why we then have to take those boxes and come up with our Ikigai. And that's what I'm now going to ask you to do. So if you look at what you've written down, it helps me and make the cross. Again, there's absolutely no right or wrong answer to this. It doesn't have to come out of those boxes. If something else springs to your mind and you think that's the answer, write it down. And try not to think.
What was the question again?
So this is your Ikigai. So the title is Ikigai, your reason for being. And it's a combination of your mission, your passion, your profession, and your vocation. So it's reading those 4 boxes, those few words in each one you've got, or one word. If Liz just has teaching in the woods for her profession, how can she take that and combine it with her passion, her mission, and her vocation to find her Ikigai? And like what Helen said about the children, just go with it. Allow yourself to go with it. Allow yourself, and again, if you want to just turn your attention inwards for a moment and think about it, what feels right for you? And as Carl Smith said the other day about commitment, I'm expecting to see pictures of everybody's completed Ikigai at a later date. I don't expect it all to look like this right now, but
a smart Ikigai.
No, it doesn't have to be smart.
No, that's what you said.
I'm not saying anything wrong with smart goals, but it's that accountability and that commitment. You've all committed to being.
So can you tell us what's on your Ikigai?
Yes, I can. My Ikigai is to speak on stages, inspiring and coaching positive change, educating on health, encouraging a shift in society, and creating more confidence in individuals who need it the most. Yeah. And the reason behind the speaking on stages was it reaches more people.
What was
And
that?
getting paid for all of those things as well.
Well, I don't have
Well,
to get
why
paid
not?
for all of them.
Why
I
not?
need to earn enough from a certain amount of them.
Why just enough?
Well,
You need to get out of the just enough mentality, because there are no limits for you. You know, and people, this is the thing I'm going to be talking about later, about what stops you from wanting abundance in your earnings. What is that? That's what people are going to be asking themselves tonight. What stops you from saying, I want to be wealthy? What stops you from doing that? And part of that is we shouldn't say it. It's all those kind of things we're taught that, you know, enough is okay. Why would you want more than that? But what we all got to understand is if you're wealthy, that's going to free you to help more people.
yeah.
And if you can get your
understand that.
you get your head around that, then you'll stop thinking, I need to earn enough.
Yeah.
And so those are the questions that I'm going to be asking people tonight. Because most people are in that, I just want my body to be okay. I just want to look okay. I just want to feel okay. I just want to earn enough money so I don't have to worry. And I'm going to ask people why they ask those hard questions of, why do you say that? Why don't you just want to manifest wealth for yourself and just go, well, and because it frees you to do so much more.
In answer to that question, I think it helps to have the next step. So the end goal, becoming a champion. But when you first step into that gym and you can't do one press up, saying I'm going to become a champion is too intimidating. Saying I'm going to do one press up is achievable. And so it's taking those steps. So I'm not saying I won't be wealthy, because I will. But my first step, that one press up, is to have enough. Because at the moment I don't. And so it's like an improvement on that. I can't take my current identity and make it that of someone who's a multimillionaire and owns property and can take private jets around the world. Not that that's what I want, but it's too big a gap, if that makes sense.
I've always thought that until recently. But I think, and what I'll explain it tonight in my thing as well. I'll let you get on with yours, but
yeah, we're running out of time.
Galen, yeah, come on, you keep going. I don't mind if you eat into my time, to be honest with you. Let's carry on. I'll just say.
Oh, but you'll have people waiting for you.
Well, that's true, but we'll talk.
Right. Anyway,
I'm going to ask you to step in on mine anyway.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh no. To do what? You can't do that to me.
About Ikigai.
Okay. I was going to say you can't do that to me unprepared. I don't really prepare what I'm going to say anyway. I just go with it.
I know you do. That's why, and that's why you're going to be a great speaker, and why you're going to be really wealthy. Have everything you want, because you've got something to offer, Jess. It's your duty to share it. Your absolute duty, because you have got something to offer. So anyway, let you go on. Sorry.
Okay. So does everybody have something in their Ikigai box?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how confident does everybody feel that they're going to achieve that? So if you put it in the chat box below, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being completely confident, I'm absolutely going to achieve this without fail. 1 being, I can't do this. It's just not possible. So somewhere between 1 to 10 in your confidence that you will achieve your Ikigai.
Well,
I think I've sent mine to Sarah instead of to everyone else.
Jackie's is an 8. I like it.
I kind of get that. Can I just say, I'll just say a 6. I kind of get an equation.
You've said a 6. Okay. I can write that. I'm talking to Sarah as well, I think. So I knew Freddie's was going to be a 10. I knew it was going to be a 10, and it was going to be with steely determination.
And why not?
I'm almost a mind.
This is it. You got to believe it. You know, this is it. You've got to have that, haven't you?
So what's yours, Mum? In the chat box.
I was going to put 10.
Go on then.
Right. I don't know on this chat box.
I was going to put 10.
I know, but I don't know where this is. It this thing there?
Don't worry about it. If it's a 10, it's a 10.
But my Ikigai.
Even get the chat box working. I'm just
No.
Don't worry about the chat box. It's not important. As long as
my Ikigai went like this: connecting, teaching people how to eliminate pain and perceive limitations. And then it changed to teaching as many people, and it was going to be as possible. Then it changed to teaching millions of people.
Yeah.
see, mine doesn't. Mine isn't.
Changing. Yeah.
Mine isn't a smart goal because it doesn't have a number or a time frame. It doesn't have to be a smart goal though. Our Ikigai is not a smart goal.
No.
It's
No,
our
I was only joking when I said
it's something that whatever, because goals can change and goals do change, and there's an absolute purpose for goal setting, but there is a differentiation between Ikigai and goals, and people assume it's a goal. And I need to work out how to communicate that it is not a goal. It is something from within you that you can use to create your goals.
Bring out from inside in you, and to inspire you to maybe.
Anyway, we're going to be late, so I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm just going to run a really quick hypnosis on you all, and so you all leave feeling fantastic, bringing that confidence up to that 10. With that steely determination that Freddie already has, because he's amazing. So make sure you're sitting comfortably without your hands or legs crossed. And I think everybody's pretty experienced now at going into that wonderful state of hypnosis. Most of you have been guided by me before. So remember that. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel that relaxation flooding through your body now. Taking yourself into that state that you want to be, and feeling your eyelids becoming heavy with the effort to keep them open, because why would you want to? You want to go down deeper now, deeper within, inside you, a place where you want to be, aware of the sounds around you, aware of the chair supporting you, and the sound of my voice guiding you. But you don't need to listen to the sound of my voice consciously, because I'm speaking directly to your subconscious mind now. And the deeper you go, the more wonderful this feels, this time for you, finding your reason for being, your purpose. We're all doing this together, but you are unique. You have gifts. You have the things that you need to bring to the world, and you are capable of doing that. I'd like you to imagine that you're on a journey, wherever that journey may be for you, through the countryside, through the woods, along a river, floating freely, flowing, wherever you need to go. There may be rocks upon your journey, but we can overcome those, because rivers start high up in the mountains as a tiny source, carving their way through rock, and they overcome anything in their path through consistency. They don't just stop, and they fluid, supple, Nothing holds them back, that flowing freely. And that's what you're going to do towards your Ikigai, like water, flowing freely through the earth, connected, but on your own journey. And wherever you are in your mind right now, just allow yourself to sit with those thoughts, those feelings, your journey, your river, your floating towards your purpose. And I'd like you to see yourself wherever you are in your imagination, wherever it may be. And imagine the essence of you, your spirit, your being, your inner being, drifting up out of your physical body, drifting up high above the clouds, looking at the earth below, all the way up beyond the solar system, higher and higher into the universe, thinking about how insignificant any problems or issues before which were holding you back may now seem, up there, above and beyond. And look down and notice that there's an archery target above the earth, high above the earth, free from anything holding you back. And in the middle of that archery target, I'd like you to picture that bullseye. And in that bullseye, place any useless and unnecessary limiting belief that has been holding you back from working towards your true desires. Place it all in there and watch it leave you and make that bullseye grow brighter. And that brightness is anything that's been holding you back. It's no longer yours. It's there, and in a moment, it's going to be gone. So look down below, look at it burning brightly, and know that you will never feel that again. In a moment, I'm going to send you through that bullseye with the sound whoosh, and I'm going to ask you to be brave, because you may experience it just for a split second, and then it will be gone forever. Ready? And whoosh. Notice where you are now, blissfully, peacefully, with a sense of calm, out in nature, out wherever you wish to be. Notice how it feels. Notice how you have nothing holding you back now, how there is a world around you, a whole 7 billion, more than 7 billion people out there for you to help with your purpose. Also knowing that you must prioritize yourself, because if you don't make those changes to look after you and know your value, you cannot serve your purpose. You have to be you. You have identified your reason for being. And it is now your duty to put yourself first to be able to go out and achieve your desires for yourself and for others. So just take a moment to look around where you are, feeling how it feels, feeling that freedom, feeling that joy, that blissful calm, and with that calm, that inner confidence. And take that within you now. Feel it in your heart. Feel it glowing brightly within. So wherever there were any limiting beliefs before, which are now gone, in its place is that glow, that warmth, happiness and confidence, knowing that you will go forwards and achieve your desires. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And on 5, your eyes will open and you will feel fantastic. You will have a new sense of enthusiasm towards your goals, towards your purpose, and also be content in the fact that you are enough, and you will go forward with compassion for yourself too. So 1, taking a nice deep breath in, inhaling positivity, optimism. 2, becoming gently aware of the room around you. 3, feeling anything you wish to feel. 4, eyes opening, and 5, feeling fantastic.
That's brilliant, Jess. Absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, you've pretty much stolen my whole next. If you were thinking of doing my my daily hypnosis, any of you, forget it, because Jess has just done it.
I actually wanted to do my comfort zone cliff, but I ran out of time. I was like, oh no.
I'm not just talking about the arrow. I'm talking about the actual. That's why I want you to come and speak to this next lot, and then we'll just get them to their Ikigai. I want them all to do that without the piece of board, without that, just going through the asking these questions, and so they can get to that point. But pretty much what you've done, I mean, it's if I'd known, I would have changed my thing tonight, because it's going to seem like that's why I want you to come along and do it, because it is it's exactly what I was going to be talking about. And I'll show you my notes, what I've put down today.
We really should have just done a joint session.
Well, I think it's, I think this is your thing, and I think you're going to take it a long way. So I don't want to get involved in it, but linking Ikigai and all those things with your ability to hypnotize and influence, you've got a winning product. You have. And think about how much money you could make from that if every school's taking this on board and it's your idea. Try not to think about that too much.
Yeah.
Try not to think how good that would be. If the zillions of kids are changing their lives because of an idea you've had, try not to think how good that's going to be and how much money you'll earn. Put that out. Try to put that out of your mind and find you cannot.
The tables have turned.
Right, it's past 9. I've got to go.
Yes.
But it's been lovely, and I'll see you soon. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. See you in a bit.
Right.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jess.
Thank you.
You were supposed to, we were going to finish with the numbers in the box, but it's too late now. So bye everyone. And make sure you finish your Ikigai.
Will do.
There we go.